Oh.
We're live.
Now we are live. Welcome back to the Bounty Hunters. Thank you for joining us. Let's see if
We are live. Look at that.
Yep. And
About
Chris
to do it,
Lopez, as usual, has got something to say. Here goes Casper. He wants to make his appearance. We just talked about this. He wants everyone to see that he's getting up.
No, I heard this on.
Everybody focus on him, please.
Okay.
So tonight, Kachun, who are we discussing? Bossk. And I see somebody says,
The
what
hell is a
car
Bossk?
picking is a Bossk? I actually, even though I'm supposed to be
No.
a toy collector,
Cajuns
I
in it.
actually
No.
have a toy with Bossk. This is who we're dealing with.
So good.
So no, actually a really good toy though.
Oh,
He
it's
was
pretty awesome.
he was my second ever figure when I was young. The first being a Gamorrean guard. I got kind of.
Interesting choice. I guess
That wasn't my choice. I was.
Chris's presents.
It was my mom's choice because he was on sale.
There you go. That's
No
the
one
best
wanted
kind.
the Gamorrean guard with the axe, so she got it because it was cheaper. And I got mad. I got super mad, and I was like, I want Han Solo, but she got me the Gamorrean guard, and then I got Bossk. I chose it, and then I got Han Solo.
I want a big mom, please.
What I have discovered when we're doing this show, I mean, some of the people, like last week we did Han Solo's first wife and a few of the other ones, we kind of knew that they were maybe not as well known. But then some of these, like Bossk here, is an extremely well-known character.
If you're a Star Wars,
And yeah, there's just not a lot, is there? Like, there's just, when you start diving into them, it's like
It's
you better read a book, like an actual novel, a comic book, and watch 30 seconds of a movie, or you don't know a lot about them. Probably it's interesting. It really is.
That's
celebrities.
Oh.
Oh.
I
Oh, we
see.
do have a celebrity. We have the class clown, and we have the celebrity. So we're good. We got all our bases covered. All right, so I just got to kick this off. Let's do my ridiculously unnecessary opening thing here. So I'll take this comment.
For the time.
Here we go. Bossk was a Trandoshan bounty hunter. He was one of the elite bounty hunters hired by Darth Vader to locate Han Solo. He was the first to hatch and immediately devoured his siblings. Like most Trandoshans, he hated Wookiees and would love to hunt and skin them. Bossk really came to prominence during the time of the Clone Wars. He became a mentor of sorts to a young Boba Fett and tried to help him get revenge against Mace Windu. However, they were eventually caught and imprisoned. They protected each other while they were in prison but managed to escape. After the escape, they parted ways but met up again when they were both hired to catch the Millennium Falcon. When Fett won the bounty, Bossk asked for a cut and Fett refused. This kicked off a rivalry that would last for the rest of his life. Bossk was a serious, violent, and ruthless bounty hunter. He believed in the bounty hunter code and didn't think governments or other bounty hunters should interfere at all. Bossk mostly worked alone, but could work with others, including Boba Fett, Aurra Sing, and even Ezra Bridger. Bossk was extremely skilled in unarmed combat, but was always well armed. His primary weapon was a Relby V-10 micro-grenade launcher. He also carried a small saber and a first-gen X-45 blaster rifle. He also loved to use grenades and proximity mines. We will now discuss one of the most ruthless and famous bounty hunters during the Clone Wars, Bossk. Join us. All right, there he is. That is what we know as far as canon. I mean, I guess you could have went in a lot more depth, but it was already like a minute and a half video or something. So I know that Kachung might be surprised to hear. I know Casper was that he did meet Ezra Bridger, and he was like, "Where? When did this happen?" And I actually didn't look it up to see when it was because I remember knowing the story, but I don't remember how I knew the story. And it was like youth junior novel that came out like a long time ago or something. So it was.
It's funny because I did read about that, and I was like, "Wait, I still haven't finished Rebels. Is that going to happen?" But I guess not. Now I was expecting that to happen in Rebels, so I'm disappointed now.
All right, Kavi, thanks for stopping by, brother.
Catch on the rewind, NYC.
Yeah, catch it.
So he loved skinning Wookiees, and I found this picture.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what a really messed up
Skinning a Wookiee there.
That'll get you there. Yeah, I didn't know. Like, okay, so they're in the same star cluster, same, I don't know what you would call it, galaxy, universe, or whatever. They're in the same system. There you go. That's what Star Wars calls it. They're in the same system, so I guess they just naturally don't like each other. And they were. I was even reading where they said he had a special place in his ship. Was like the Hound's Tooth. Is that what it was? I think he had a special room in his ship that was dedicated to nothing but skinning Wookiees.
Yeah, the Hound's Tooth or the Hound Tooth. No, I think the Hound's Tooth.
Yeah.
Awesome ship. I read up about that because at first I thought, well, I didn't really get to see his ship much in any of the books, but when I went back and read them, his ship appeared in almost every story. So
yeah,
I was totally wrong. It's an awesome ship. It's so much bigger than Slave One. I think even bigger than Millennium Falcon.
Well, like I said, when you have your own room dedicated but nothing but skinning Wookiees, you got to have a little bit of space.
You need to have some speakers, some little cleansing area.
That's just such a weird thing if you think about it, because like obviously that wasn't in the original Star Wars, so that was like probably a writer in one of the Legend books, and he was like, "Hey, you know what'd be cool if we had the lizard skin the Bigfoot guy." Like, and they just had a whole mythos around these lizards who like to go out and
then they changed everything. So all of canon and Legends, everyone's like, yeah, the Trandoshans, do they enslave the Wookiees? They skin the Wookiees? They just hate the Wookiees?
You know what's weird to me about that, though? Like, I feel like there needs to be a really deep dive into the Wookiees, like not like us, but somebody who's actually like a writer, because it doesn't make sense, because people fear them. They're giant. I mean, I know we're getting off topic here, and they're super strong, and they have technology. They know how to shoot a gun and flash it, but they're always enslaved. They're always like punked. These lizard people like come down, take them, and skin them, for God's sakes, and they're just like, whatever. Like, I don't understand why they're so easily enslaved. It's really strange.
I read that Bossk nicknamed him Chain Smasher, something like that, in one of the stories.
Chewbacca?
He named Chewbacca. That was his nickname, Chain Smasher, because he came across him as enslaved, and he was known for like getting Wookiees out of chains all the time.
That's funny. That's weird. That's a really weird detail.
Yeah,
like,
it is
in general. Like, there's no other character like that, I don't think.
So while we're at it, I'll just go ahead and throw up his very first appearance. This is how we meet him. Of course, I think everybody but Mr. Fett we have now done, I think, right? Except this is one of the last
everyone does that.
And a little bit of insider stuff that I was reading. The guy who plays this, I don't know if he's a lieutenant or what he is, who looks up and sees his gnarly feet. He didn't know, he had never seen his feet. He didn't know that was happening. So I guess the kind of look where he kind of takes it back, because that was the first time he had ever seen.
That's interesting. I never thought of that. Somebody else
I read that. So hold on a second.
Sir, we have a priority signal from the Star Destroyer Avenger.
Right. There will be a substantial reward for the one who finds the Millennium Falcon.
All right. Yeah, so his kind of like double take where he looks up is apparently the first time he ever saw.
That was who it is.
Well, his feet got more screen time than his face.
His feet did get more screen time. I actually cut out like
screen time and
I feel bad though, because I did cut out 10 more seconds of that, because all it did was show his feet. As the camera pans, it just shows his feet and a little bit of his upper leg.
But they a lot of money to those feet, those legs.
Yeah. So
one thing too, did you see about the suit? Where his suit came from?
Yeah, it came from what, Star Trek or no Twilight
Doctor
Zone? Yeah, one of them. Dr. England, who cares, kind of thing.
Dr. Trek. I mean? Dr. Trek.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, it was from a what was it? It was one of the early episodes, black and white, where he had it's supposed to be like an RAF suit.
Yeah, like a zero gravity RAF or something suit that they used in Doctor Who or whatever his name is. Which that was one of the things, I know this is off topic too, that me and my dad used to argue about because he used to make fun of other things. And I'm like, Dad, you watch a show where there's like these robots who move at like 0.01 miles an hour and everyone's terrified and they kill people. I've never understood this obsession with Doctor Who. It's the strangest thing I've ever seen.
They disintegrate you though.
Whatever. They still like, this is ridiculous. Anyways. Did you know anything about Mr. Bossk beforehand, other than he was a lizard guy that wore a yellow suit?
You want me to?
Oh, whoever.
A little. Yeah, I remember. I didn't remember specifics of the old Volume 1's appearances. I did remember that he appeared and looked weird. And it's actually surprising how much he changes through the artistry of all the books that he's in. I did remember I have it here, the Princess Leia one shot.
Yeah.
Which yet another story that occurs during Han Solo in Carbonite, and everyone's trying to find him. That's kind of like a popular timeline to write stories about, and that's when she's in the Bossk. We'll talk about it later, but Bush, right?
Bush. Oh, yeah. Oh, the where she, Bush.
Disguise.
As I was reading, I kept going Bush.
So I remembered that from a couple of years back. But yeah, other than that, it was very cool reading about it. You know, I had been reading the latest Bounty Hunters series, and he makes some pretty decent appearances in that. I haven't read the latest appearances of him in it because I haven't caught up. But crossing fingers, he comes in pretty hard like he does in the others.
Yeah,
and then Hoosier, did we do we not give you enough heads up that we were doing the show tonight, or
I had
more lead-in time, or
I had someone bang on the window. I had the cat go from one room to the other, like walk through, and I'm like, for fuck's sake! And the fiance just came home. I'm like, I can make mute video, mute cam, and I'm like, please, I cannot do this anymore. Anyways.
So since you're the one that out of all of us, well, I don't know. I think Kachung said he read a lot of the books. Do you remember any books that you read that you thought were either one of you? I guess I know. I never read any of the Legends books, but
I was going to read the story that was in that same anthology with all the other bounty hunter ones, like the Therefore I Am we did. I didn't get a chance to read it. I know roughly it was just kind of like a tale where he's just going off bounty hunting and with Wookiee stuff as well, but I didn't get really much into the reading of the books.
That's the one. That's the one he gets his nickname.
Oh, okay then. That's funny then. But yeah, the otherwise Bossk related, I knew about him before all the different stuff, obviously, and then Clone Wars and comics and such. What I didn't realize until later was how different his relationship with Boba Fett is compared to Canon Legends. And Canon being more so like meeting him very young, helping raise him as a bounty hunter and getting him more used to it. Opposed to Legends, where he's just immediately, they have this spiteful rivalry where they're trying to almost kill each other half the time. It's interesting dynamic between the two.
Yeah, like I was saying in the thing, and I'll show this really quick because I did make this other clip, that my last clip here, that and the little lead in that they got arrested together, and then while they were in prison in the TV show Clone Wars, Bossk basically protects them, and so I'll just play that one real quick.
All right, that's it. Fight's over. No, it's ain't. You got a problem with Boba. You got a problem with me.
And that, oh, there he goes again. He disappeared again. And that fight leads directly into them all escaping. And that's how, like half of those bounty hunters who got arrested all escaped was that fight.
Kenobi being thrown over a table.
Poor who? Oh, yeah, I forgot that was.
You forgot that was your boy.
I totally forgot. Yeah, that he was in there. I was like, no, he didn't. And then I'm like, oh yeah, you know what he did? I forgot about that.
I love that. That arc is one of my favorites of the whole series.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Kenobi going undercover like that.
I just love that it's kind of the origins of Boba, and
Mhm.
it goes into. They must have thought there was something to this kid that who's going to be big name. They're all protecting him,
That Fett name continuing on.
all being mentors.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember. I don't think they really went into too much detail other than, obviously saying or whatever. She was just very serious about looking out for him. But I can't really remember why they all. I mean, they might have done a bad job of explaining why they all jumped on board. I'm sure it was money at first, but then, I mean, obviously,
good inheritance from his father.
Obviously,
all that clone DNA money coming in, the pensions basically.
They wanted his ship.
Yeah, not too. They're probably like, hey, if he dies, you can write us on his will. Give us the ship.
All right, so should we jump into, since that's pretty much it? Like, we pretty much covered the movie and the cartoon appearances.
Yeah, it's pretty much straightforward in that he's just kind of following Boba Fett around the show, and with the movie, obviously, it's self-explanatory.
That's what you got. I will say this though, I understand that you need stories, and especially Filoni, he does a good job of giving the fans a little bit of like, holy crap, it's him. But it is weird that now that I've had to do this for all the bounty hunters, that because he was focusing on Ventress, he was focused on young Fett. So when you need somebody to take a beating in those situations, you're not going to make it them. So I would have given you more fighting on the train, but pretty much every time Diaperhead Boy and Lizard Boy fought, they were getting beat. So it was really hard to show how awesome a bounty hunters they are when they're the ones that have to get beat, because you're not going to let, Boba Fett or Ventress get beat. So it kind of limits the amount of people. So it was kind of funny because the only time we really see them in action, because they're not actually in the movies, they're not doing well against, random like people who are, natives to a planet. Like, they're really not doing too great. So it's kind of like, what are you gonna do?
Neither of them do well against Chewie.
No, they don't do very well. So it's kind of, I'm like, one of the most vicious and well-known bounty hunters, but he cannot fight the natives who don't even have guns. But it's neither here nor there. Just disregard that whole thing.
That comes with territory.
One thing I didn't find is he didn't die anywhere.
Yeah, no secret off-camera deaths.
So that possibly leads into, hey, Filoni, Mandalorian, please.
I wonder what is the lifespan supposed to be on a Trandoshan.
Well, he's a lizard, and he does have regenerative. I mean, there were an article I read where he got his arms cut off by somebody, and then he was back with like fully grown arm before they got back to their ship. I didn't realize they grew back that fast. Like, I have to try to remember where I read that at, but
well, that makes sense though.
It isn't like Ryan Reynolds. I got to spit every time I say his name. Ryan Reynolds, like a Deadpool scene, which was actually pretty funny. It's kind of really annoying, where his like baby legs and everything were there, and they want to look at him. It's not like that. Apparently, he regenerates his limbs pretty fast. So, you have that kind of regenerative ability. I would imagine you're going to live a pretty decent amount of time.
Yeah.
I know I read somewhere that he had a death in Canada, or what it was believed to be his death. It was some kind of explosion, but even then, it was
always an explosion. It's always.
Yeah, but even then, it was heavily said that no one really thought he died in it. It was some kind of explosion he was involved.
If he fell off something, he didn't.
Yeah. Apparently, there's no confirmed date on how long they can live for, but apparently, it's roughly 60 years.
That can't be right.
Which it seems low considering humans will probably live 80. So
he was an adult when Boba Fett was young.
Yeah, that's
true. So that's so he's probably, and Boba Fett was sort of.
He's got to be 60 or 70 now, like not even knowing how old he was. Even he was like a teenager.
He should have had gray scales in Empire Strikes Back.
Tell him grayscale, baby.
The Book of Boba Fett. I expect him. Thank you.
Yeah, it's gonna be a reunion.
I have now, I think I did 2 different posts on Instagram where I tagged Filoni, and I mean, I'm just telling him he is like the greatest thing ever, just to see if I even get him to like it or anything. He doesn't. I don't know how many millions of Star Wars nerds tag him on a daily. Just be
there's too many. Imagine
from the ones that are actually good to the ones that are toxic. Be like, murder everybody in charge, take over Filoni. Like, I actually have read that post before. I was like,
he has his own maintenance droid on his social media.
Speaking of, for when we talk about Bad Batch later, there was one
we're not going to discuss
very liked. I liked it a lot.
Oh yeah, we'll get there.
We're not going to discuss that.
Anyways,
So.
should probably get into the comics now. We're 20 minutes.
Well, no, that's because we kind of had to, because we had to get through all the cartoon stuff, so it's not that bad.
Yeah.
All right. So I got to share the screen. I already have it up and going
First
too.
appearance.
Oh, and as per usual,
There it is.
which has always confused me that the color is that on the comics.
Purple.
The comics, he's in the original Marvel, he's purple. He's wearing purple in all of them. He's not even wearing
Come
yellow.
on, focus.
It's very weird.
But I'm gonna tell you though, that doesn't even make sense though that he was purple. Because like, what world would he be purple? Like in any kind
It's
of
just like comic, purple be bad.
Well, I know, and comics love it. But I'm just saying, like in any kind of like safety measure, spaceman. Why would you be wearing purple? Like that doesn't even make sense. All right, so let's now we try to share.
The older stories, they're pretty funny, honestly. They're
goofy.
They come and go from being really well written and even really well drawn to just absolute shite.
Oh my god, can't wait. So yeah, that's the first appearance as per usual. The first cover too. So
there he is.
now he's a rebel here for once because he is he's
not over the shoulder.
He's not over any shoulder.
Oh, I'm
He's
disappointed.
over his shoulder.
He's foreground, man.
Yeah.
He's
behind. Yep.
That's why we took so long to choose him, because he was not over any shoulders. So yeah,
I'll flip in page 2 here because he appears on the first page of this book.
yes, in that big splash page right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, right there's the splash page. Appears in shadow almost.
Yeah, I mean, for being the one of the early ones, that's a really cool splash page, though. I've always liked that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you knew nothing about Star Wars, like this, like to me, it's got to be the most like stereotypical like space like Odyssey kind of comic book right there. Like you wouldn't even need to know anything about Star Wars to know what that's about right there.
Mm-hmm.
Reptile, turban, and helmet. So yeah,
look at my superhero. looking like a mixture of Doctor Strange. Yeah.
After
issue is this? I need this. I don't have this issue.
So after that first appearance, he doesn't reappear. He reappears in issue 50, with just that single panel thing. Didn't include it because it's just so much. But in issue 61, he appears in a duology story arc here. And I don't know how we missed this when we talked about IG, but you'll see in a minute.
Right. I thought that too.
I was wondering, I was like, wait, how did we miss it? So I don't know what's with Wikipedia in terms of appearances. I guess they must be weird. But
if I have time, I sometimes flip through like the app through the old books, just to see if I appear. Some of these characters appear. Because I've read most of them, but not all of them, and obviously don't really remember them much.
Hard to remember, yeah.
What's going on with the
hologram? His fork for a foot?
Yeah, his hay fork over here. What's that all about?
But yeah, so that's them. Basically, it looks like this story is after episode 5, obviously, and it's regarding again Han Solo being Carbonite.
Yep,
as per usual.
Right.
Doctor Strange.
I put this in because if you look at what Luke says, he says, "Think you'll recognize them if you ever see them." I mean, look at that. I had to throw that other picture in there. I mean, would you recognize them if you saw them?
The giant lizard guy and the robot.
The 9-foot robot.
The 9-foot robot. You don't forget, they're both really tall. So, like, if you put them in a crowd, you'd see them right away.
Look at this. I just want to zoom in to show you goodness.
Count Lando.
Oh, that's so amazing.
I gotta say, Lando, when we get to him, but like, almost every story he's in, he gets beat up.
Hey, you shut it, sir. What in the world?
Hey, we got a really good panel later of Lando beating up Bossk.
Right.
So, anyways, here. So this is
I don't know why this makes me laugh, but when I was looking at this a couple days ago, I just started laughing. I don't know why it made me laugh, but it really did.
It's a good panel. So yeah. Anyways, basically this part here is they're in a pub, or basically a bar, cantina, and regarding Lando and such. and IG-88's there in the background, kind of watching, slowly zooming in on him.
Is he also, making a cappuccino?
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I like in this story that I can't remember if it's Luke or Lando, but they say how where's like the best place you'll find bounty hunter? In a bar.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually always the case.
I just think that it's weird that even back then Marvel knew that, they were going to have Marvel and Star Wars, they were going to be in the same world together because they had Doctor Strange show up, help Luke out. It's great stuff.
Hey, we'll see Moon Knight later.
This is supposed to be. Look at this. What is this? This is not my man. Look at him. Oh, sorry. That's not right.
So
yeah.
Give him a rundown. What's happening?
Yeah. So basically, they believe, so Luke and Lando believe that Han Solo's there in Carbonite with and such, that Bossk and them got it. So they get there, and then bam, there's a trick. It's just a random, Rordian inside of it, and Bossk and IG trick them so they can capture them.
It's Cheeto.
Yeah.
This is Cheeto.
It would have been cool if they had made this sound like he was hissing, like if they had did the whole and you're
hissing thing.
They should, yeah. I mean,
that's a funny thing. They didn't do that at all in the original Marvel one. I guess they didn't realize he's a reptile.
I didn't realize that later on we're gonna have him hissing everything he does.
And I looked.
Now he's Captain America. Look at
this. I
this
looked at the cover, and I was really. This is straight off of the Marvel Unlimited app. And I was really trying to wonder what was going on with this image because, you look at Lando, is he whiteface? And then Bossk looks like he's foaming at the mouth.
He
looks more like a tiger almost right there.
Why has he got a red sweater on all of a sudden?
Yeah, he looks like he's the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. or he looks like Captain America or something. He's got the blue and red boots. That's a really weird picture.
It is probably the weirdest cover I've seen.
And then Thanos is back here laughing at him.
But yeah, so there's a continuation of that.
Now he's back to being strange again.
Again, what's really weird is I don't get this. It confuses me still as the color changes so much. Now he's in a blue suit, if you notice.
Yeah, he's in a blue suit. And he looks more like Demon now than he does Bossk, but that's fine.
That's fine by me.
Come again in the form of Trandoshan.
So we find out that
true, Barbarian.
They tricked.
Trying to rile me up.
They knew that they would come after them if they thought that that Luke and Lando thought they had Han, so they tricked them.
Mm-hmm.
They had their buddy in Carbonite instead.
I know that we've now attacked the drawing twice, but again, who is this person right here?
Yeah, who's underneath it?
I have not. And then who is this guy? Who is this supposed to be?
Here's the thing. Looking at that and compared to the other panel, look completely different.
And then what happened to his eyes? Did whoever this random stranger is in the top corner, did he shoot his eyes out because he has no eyes now?
Yeah, it's pretty bad with that.
The weird thing is I actually like the art in here. It just doesn't look like the people it's supposed to be.
And Bossk says to Luke, "Who taught you to jump like that?"
Yeah.
Well, he did some kind of flip. I assume that's what this is. Little woo-choo.
That's what he says. And then cuts his blaster in half with his lightsaber.
Yeah.
Oh, and then he punched. I still feel like he's going through some kind of genetic changing because now it's almost like a hippo.
Every time he keeps changing how he looks.
Yeah, his face is changing.
Strange look. And then it cuts down to IG there with him. Yeah, it's the original Marvel comics are a very hit or miss, I could say. In terms of
I always like the art. I just okay, we're getting even more into who is this person. Oh my!
What actor would be better?
Oh my god! Could that have been before? This wasn't before the actual casting, was it?
No. This was so issue 42 was was when Empire Strikes Back was.
That's what I thought.
This is issue 72, so it's quite far from there.
It's no excuse for this, I must say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh look, they started using earth bullets. Click, 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 click. They don't have a firing pin in them anymore, apparently.
And then, yeah.
Good lord!
I thought.
I almost didn't know who that was at first.
So I was like, zoom in there. That's a cool panel where it shows Bossk them basically leading them into the carbonite chamber. And then I looked down and I'm like, is that a bat? Like that looks like a bat. Like if I were to pull up an image of a fruit bat, Kachun's saying bring him back. By the way,
I just want to point out that he was in a really dark suit. Then he was in a dark blue suit. Now he's in a baby blue suit. Lando is like a magician when it comes to outfit changing. He is. This is why he's the coolest man in the universe. Look at it now. It's beautiful baby blue now.
So that image there of Bossk, like that's a fruit bat, right?
Yeah, it's something.
Right there. Kachun's asking to bring him back. He must have got kicked out.
He must have done what?
He must have got kicked out for saying too many things.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. I thought I did hear a little boop boop, but I didn't know what it was. So that he must have been him coming back. There we go.
Sorry about that.
I forgot about. I don't have the sound turned on. I thought I heard it for a second.
Yeah, do you like the image, Kachun, of the fruit bat?
I loved it. Yeah.
You should have used that for the thumbnail part of the.
Yeah, nobody would have known what it was though.
That would have made it more interesting.
I was going to make a collage. Like, remember how I did Bib Fortuna?
Yes.
I was going to do like a collage of all his different faces, but I didn't have time.
That looks like the creature from the Blue Lagoon now. That's what he's turning into there.
So yeah, already he's changed so like within 2 issues he's looked so different.
Oh, then can we also talk about that? In fact, this I don't know who this is supposed to be, but some kind of stick man. He's supposed to be some kind of stick man. Look how thin they made him.
He can run, man.
Oh, he's a runner.
He got moved. He can move, and Smash hits
Both of them.
Hits the Pixar light and hits the bat.
Both with one punch.
Okay, now I got some more questions.
So
now this kind of is starting to look right, but who is this?
So after that, it jumps up to issue 85 is when they reappear. Now this is Han Solo and crew end up on this world, and
some other Wookiee that's I think he's.
Is this supposed to be
Ewok?
Don't. I thought it. Ignore it. I don't even want to think about it. I don't want to think that's him.
Can we just point out, like, seriously, I don't want to keep, these guys draw.
It is him. Oh my lord.
This is him. But look, there is an actual lizard man right here. It looks like a lizard. What is this?
That looks more like Bossk.
It does. Bossk. Like, this would be a decent Bossk, but this is him supposedly. Okay, and now he's back in purple again. He likes the purple. Can we just talk about how terrifying this is? I don't even know. Does he got makeup on? Is like rouge or something?
He has a beard. He has a beard.
Yeah. He was taking him back.
I forgot about that one.
This guy in a muumuu.
Oh, that guy's
guy's mad because this is the part of the guy from the last duology. Anyways, he's with IG and what you could call Bossk.
I swear, like that could be Dengar in the last one, sitting at the bar.
Can we just point out what exactly is this? Is he lap dancing? Like, where is his eyes at? Like, it seems like he might be in the view. I don't know. We might have found something out about him right there.
He's talking to Dragon from Fantastic Four right there.
That's gargoyles. What are you talking about? That is Goliath and gargoyles. You, sir, are incorrect. I know you're probably too young to know what that is, but that is what that is.
So yeah, look at him pounding back the drink. He looks so weird. I guess you're right.
What I think is awesome about these early comics, though, is that nobody uses their lips when they drink. They all pour everything directly down their throats.
They're worried about germs all the time.
But that bounty hunter life's pretty good.
Surround like that. Yeah, so this is. I love this interaction. It's hilarious. So they get into this cantina. They're sitting at this table talking, and then And then Bossk walks in, evening, everyone. And then he scroll down, and he just continues walking. And then Chewbacca's like, "Whoa!" shocked. And they're like, "Wait, what's the matter with you two, right? What are you talking about?"
It looks like he has a bulletproof vest on.
But I love he just walks in the room, evening, everyone.
Evening.
Okay, this now he looks like he's got a little bit of like a little monkey right here. This is like a nice part monkey.
This is getting some swagger now.
He's still rocking the purple, but now it's like a purple and blue. He's got more suits than Lando, maybe.
He's changing his suits in between. And then
here's the other lizard guy that looks like a lizard still when he does not.
Yeah, he's part of the gang. And the Minotaur.
Yeah. Definitely a lot more interesting looking characters. It's a Bossk right there.
I just wonder, like, because I really do still like the art. The art's funny. I just wonder though, like the guy who got the instructions, he's like, you got a lizard guy, but then you have another lizard guy, so you need to make them different.
One's more
lizard. Yeah, the one that's supposed to be the more well known of the two lizard guy, he gets turned into like half monkey, half lizard, half fruit bat. And the lizard guy that nobody knows and never sees again, he's the one that looks like a lizard. It's kind of weird.
And he's dressed like Drax.
Oh man! And that panel kills me. That last one. So they capture Lando, and
this almost looks right though, kind of like it's starting to get a little bit of a snap.
That one looks right. I like it, but then the following one below it just does not look at all.
No, this one it went back again. Like his,
he didn't like drawing the correct way.
They're all pretty shocked though in that panel.
I am glad that Lando is looking at least a little bit more like Lando. It's getting a little better.
Yeah. So basically, they capture him, and then they sneak out. They get knocked out. It pretty much is just a kind of tale of the day thing. Not much else after that. But after that issue, after the original series, that's the last time he shows up, and then it shows he appears back in the Dark Horse Star Wars. This is the volume 2 they did.
Yeah, the second
volume. So he only appears. So ignore the Marvel is so sneaky.
It's so shady.
You don't know, we get most of these from the Marvel Unlimited app, and they actually have all of the Dark Horse comics on there. You can find, except they replace the word Dark Horse with Marvel, and they make it the old Marvel logo too to make it look like it's theirs.
They put Legends at the bottom.
This means Dark Horse, in case you're wondering.
Basically, yeah. If you see Legends, you know it's Dark Horse.
Ooh, I kind of like that.
But the art is really, really quite fantastic in this whole
stylistic way.
Covers are great.
Covers. You'll see the covers in a minute. They're very gorgeous. But yeah, Bossk here. This definitely looks more like Bossk than that last one.
Oh gosh, yes. I mean, I could do you a quick sketch with a crayon. It would look more like Bossk than that.
So yeah, they're basically hunting down Han Solo and Chewbacca, as you do.
Yeah,
as everyone does.
Yeah. And then issue 8, he shows back up, and then again, like I said about the issue about Wikipedia confusing me. That's Wedge on the cover. Why wasn't that listed on the Wedge section?
Oh yeah,
right. It looks photoshopped on like it should have been Han.
There you go.
Yeah. So then
there we go. There's his ship. The Houndstooth.
What in the world? Is that dog?
It's a sneezing cat.
Oh, I thought that was your dog snoring again or something.
Yeah, I realized I didn't meet the light. That's pretty good. The cat throwing up. So
this is the one that we saw. I was like, wow, that's a really amazing cover. Like I
love that cover. It's really
from with my life right here. That's really awesome.
Start of is it Hugh?
There's a couple things going on in that, yeah, but that continues the basically Bossk chasing Chewbacca and the Millennium Falcon, and you can get a good idea of the ship size too, like comparing them in some of these panels.
Yeah,
you don't really see a ship often.
No, not comparatively of speaking.
Now, here's the best. I had to include this. We talked about this on Zuckass's thing. suckasses, and I definitely,
you grab it, you're like, man, by the cover,
cover like that. That's gonna be really cool. He's got a Lando, he's got a Dengar, for everyone, and then you look at the interior art, and it's completely different. But then that image of Bossk, do you think that image is more faithful to the movie than the Marvel comics?
I don't know what that is, if I'm being honest with you.
That should be an IDW story, I think.
If we hadn't already talked about this, I knew it was coming. I would have been asking you why the two different comic books. There's no way
you wanted
that you thought.
Yeah.
If you had opened this,
we get separate panels. Literally, just put it all in one, get it over.
Like, I understand that sometimes the cover artist is different than the interiors. I mean, that's most of the time, right? But when you see this, like if you were there originally when this came out and you opened this book up and you saw this, you would think there was some kind of error at the printing. Like they put the wrong cover on the wrong book. Like you would definitely thought something was weird.
Potentially even put it back.
Keep scrolling down. You should have been at right there. There you go. B8. Yeah, it's pretty bad, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think I used to cover buy as much as I do.
Oh wow, I really like this cover. I like when these guys are done well.
This was the Shadows of the Empire
great story
series, and we talked about before with Suckass and Forlom, but we didn't touch on all of it. We touched on just like an issue or two. But this one, Bossk is throughout the whole thing, basically minus issue 1, and it's basically split into two, the first or three stories. It's set after Empire. That Leia and Solo and such have to deal with this guy Prince Ezor, and Luke's off doing his own thing, and then at the same time, Boba Fett's trying to bring the Carbonite Han Solo back to Jabba, and all this happens, which you can get. Maybe they might take some inspiration here for the War of the Bounty Hunters.
Yeah, I mean they must. This is one of the. So I think this is the best story up until
the
now,
OG,
for that time period and that actual storyline. But they're all kind of after each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
They all want Han.
Yeah. So they're all mad at Boba for getting Han, basically, and like, hey, you want to share some here? Yeah, cooperation. They basically want to split the reward, and Fett's like, nah. Like,
yeah, that's kind of what they're discussing right there. Yeah, I was gonna say when we do all these, it kind of shows you who, either a combination of lazy writing or who was popular, because every one of these people we've done so far, no matter what their life story is, had some kind of tangle with Han Solo. Like every one of them had some kind of even if it was just a quick one, they all had some kind of tangle with him.
Yeah, and all intercept Boba Fett at some stage.
Oh yeah, him too.
So this part basically they try attacking. He tries getting attacked. So Fett, tricks them, shoots up. The art's pretty good in this. He runs away, flips the table over on Bossk.
Yeah,
and he's basically making an exit for his ship so he can get out of there quickly.
Spilling his drink.
Yeah, it's interesting. Have you guys read the alpha issue yet to War of the Bounty Hunters?
No.
It's interesting what they're basically, because in this it's just Boba Fett's taking his time. He's taking his time getting into Jabba when he should just go there automatically. It's interesting what they're doing in the new one. What the explanation is to why he's not gone there directly, and what happens. It actually definitely puts something to the universe that's different. Like it wasn't addressed before regarding Carbonite.
Good. I look forward to reading that. There's his ship again.
Yeah.
And so basically Bossk is tracked.
I like that. I like his evil freaked out view right there. It's pretty good.
He's looking at his tablet. He's looking at his tablet in the dark.
Forlom is on Boba Fett's ship destroyed, so he repaired himself, and
we saw that when he did a suck ass in him.
We did that, so and a great fight ensues with them. And I love that shot still. That's still one of my favorite panels.
Yeah, that's great.
Blam.
I almost kind of wish this wasn't here just because you get more of that. Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
For damn. Love the onomatopoeias.
Onomatopoeias. Yeah. So Boss attacking a ship, and now he's giving him ultimatums, basically.
Come on. There you go.
That's the first time they address the Bush disguise.
Yes, in this. I think this is where the Bush disguise is first seen in the comics.
Yeah. And it's the same thing with that story behind me with the Princess Leia one shot.
Mm-hmm. Which we're talking to after. Which I really like that one shot. Yeah. So Boss basically just chills on the ship the whole time, yelling, barking orders.
Isn't it bad though that all these stories we do, that all the bounty hunters combine forces to try to take on Fett, even fake Fett, and they can't do it. Like how good are the Fets, or how bad are these bounty hunters? Because they just can't seem to get the job done. It's like Three Stooges time around here.
Yeah. So Zagas is basically he's held at gunpoint and he's being told to feed lines, be like, hey, Fett's not that bad, man. Why are we doing this?
He's split over 2 panels. Look at that.
Yeah, the kind of
interesting thing to do. Yeah.
And then basically tricks him, and then Fett sets off a bomb, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
A room.
What an interesting ship design, though. If you go back for a second, like that's a really weird ship design. Huh?
Yeah, it's got like a glider wing back with this big giant, I don't know, shoebox in the front. It is kind of interesting.
It's like one of those ships that should be flying the other direction.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
And then Bossk, swearing basically from leaving him there.
Curse you, Fett.
Definitely a more accurate looking Bossk.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I got this guy. I have this guy. I don't know.
He even says a lot can happen before you get soloed to Jabba the Hutt.
Mm-hmm. Which doesn't seem like much happens, I guess.
Yeah, but say whatever could happen didn't happen apparently because he got him there just safe.
What I'm wondering is, did Fett stop off at get some drinks and pick up groceries on the way? How did Bossk get there first?
Right.
So Fett lands, Bossk and everyone's there prepared to attack him. Door opens, and if you already watched it from our Forlom and such video, you'll see what happens here.
Well, maybe the reporting that Bossk ate all of his brothers and sisters when he was hatched is wrong. Maybe Purple Bossk is like the other brother, and there's more than one running around. That's why there's so many clothing.
It's Bossk with 3 S's.
Yeah, like maybe that's what it is.
Or they're clones.
Clones.
So Bossk is chasing down who he thinks is Fett, and Solo and Carbonite.
This is funny though. Remember me, Fett? Now we know that they've had a 30-year relationship. So I don't think he would need to say, "Do you remember me, Fett?" Because
yeah,
he was only in 3 pages ago. Yeah.
And the reveal is he just instead of Fett and Carbonite, it's Forlom and Zuckus. I don't know how he fit him in the armor, and he had spare armor too. That's always the one thing that got me.
Yeah,
but that is weird. The spare armor, and that guy has his own giant head helmet thing. That I don't know how he got him in.
How did he get that?
Well, he does have spare armor because we find out in the Mandalorian.
He got that spray paint. Yeah.
He made it,
and then he does it. He walks out, and he's like, He's like, I got paid already. You guys are screwed.
This is like, I don't know, man. You're just like really demeaning everyone else. First off, how many curses you gonna throw at him? The curse game ain't working for him because it's not helping.
Would you, Chim, would you do that cosplay, Zuckuss in Boba Fett's armor?
Oh, yeah, good question.
With Helm just sitting on top like this.
That would be kind of cool. I wonder how many people would actually.
I was about to say, for those 4 people and 3 of us are sitting here that even knows what that means.
Yeah.
So now after that, we finally come to modern Marvel, and this is again the first appearance there, and the cameo along with all the other bounty hunters, and you got Bossk just standing off to the corner.
Holy crap! And this is the one time I didn't do it. Hold on. The one time I didn't play it. I didn't even realize that until just now, too. Holy crap.
Oh, we have a celebrity.
The one time I didn't do it. I don't know if he's still here, but this is what I always do for your benefit. What episode is this now? What episode are we in?
11.
We're in 11 episodes, and every episode but this one, this is what I do, okay? I say, for that good friend of mine who claims he watches, but yet it's been 10 episodes and he hasn't seen that this opening does not fit the show. And I can't believe I didn't. I mean, he would have saw it because he just showed up. But still, like I've done that every episode. Be like, well, to that special guy, look at this really bad opening to this show. It does not fit at all.
That's a good joke, though, Kenny.
Yeah,
it's fun.
And I was gonna say, then like a legend, he comes in and does like the chat line of the night. I'm looking forward to Who the Bossk with Tony Danza. Well done, sir. Well done.
Oh, good.
And if we haven't shown this comic enough, that's
in the modern Star Wars 42.
Yeah, essentially it is.
Yeah, honestly though, if you're like somebody who likes Star Wars and you do not have Darth Vader #1, this particular one, you probably need to pick it up just because. Wow.
The other printings of that are actually pretty good, if I'm not mistaken. They're not like I don't think they're all like dumb, just change the color to one thing.
Yeah. The camera is run deep in that issue.
Right.
Luke.
So yeah, this is he shows up in issue 7, part of this kind of 2-issue story with our favorite Dr. Aphra.
Oh man, that threw me off for a second. My eyes went sideways. And I've actually read that comic book too, and I still didn't notice that, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think the Mark Brooks covers start that early in that series, Kenny. I think that's La Roca does the covers, I believe.
So I looked up quickly because I was looking here. Adi Granov did the cover.
Oh, Granov. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh man, some of these covers are so good.
La Roca's doing the interiors, right?
Yes, he does the interiors.
And then I don't have my thing. Should I do it though? Because I feel like this is a not spoiler alert, but this could be a big one here. Because this is the first time we're seeing it?
This would be the first time. His first in comics.
Yeah. Look at that.
Oh yeah, look at
you
that.
hear the hiss in the other issues. That's funny.
And is that 88? Red 88?
90, I think what it was.
I think it is 90, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this
little dude, this dude's always confused me.
he's a micronaut.
He's micronaut.
Yeah, zoom in that bottom panel there. There he is. Look how big his head is, though.
Yeah, that's a really bad. What's that word?
And the mini Mandalorian.
This whole panel's not the greatest, by the way.
So basically, this 3-man crew here gets hired by Aphra, as you'll see in the next panel, to basically bank rob this ship.
Yeah, good story.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like one of those. This one looks like one of those Instagram things that people do. They set up toys, They try to make it look it's not a toy. That's what this kind of looks like because they are very stiff. Look at this. He's even got to lean back. That's how you gotta have to do him, in case you don't know. When you have this toy, you actually have to lean him back like that because his head is so big it falls over. That's what this is. Like, it kind of makes me wonder if there was a toy set up for this drawing.
He did. He drew it from the toy.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
It's very suspicious there. Because look how good this is. Like, this is obviously like, especially that. That's really kind of cool. But yeah,
They came like Marvel when they started, Darth Vader, Star Wars, and even in the first Dr. Aphra, but they came out of the gate strong.
Mm-hmm. No, they really brought their A game, which was great because like it's a very good for new readers too. Like it's a great way to get into just comics in general as well as the new Star Wars stuff.
absolutely.
None of it was bad. Those early issues.
Yes, and then they did the first crossover with Vader.
Yeah,
down,
fantastic.
Amazing. And then the Screaming Citadel was the second one.
Yeah, which you touched on with the vampire. I like this panel specifically because he's wearing like the big dome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Which is funny because you look at that and you're like, oh, that kind of looks like it's supposed to be part of his costume. And he's in yellow too. Is the first? Yeah, these would also be the first appearances of him in yellow suit.
But I will say that if you look at this and then you go back, I hate to keep smashing the artist, but his melon here is quite large compared to the melon here. Like it's pretty disproportionate.
He probably had to fix it. Look,
Had to shrink it a bit to fit in that helmet.
There you go. Maybe he had to shoot his head real quick and then grew
He
it back.
even got gloves with 3 fingers made for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these custom tailor. Probably out of Wookiee fur on the inside. So yeah, they basically break into this ship to rob it of its splendor, and it's all operated by droids inside. This is security. No life forms. They get in there, and so I like this part where basically Afra is going on about how, I fronted the back end of this. I should go the first person to be breaking up the shares. And the next page, or at the end, she's like, okay. She's like, okay, fine. I'll take that. I'll take the hit. Don't worry. And then it cuts us over to Bossk leaning in. Zoom in what Bossk says.
I think you think about it.
Yeah, it's about betraying. Like I would never betray you guys. And she was like, I think you think about it, and then slink away. So yeah, that happens, and then he doesn't really show up again in any of the other comics, which is funny. He just kind of has he's there. He was in that part of that quick job, made his money, and then he reappears in this Age of Rebellion one shot for Princess Leia, which is. I'm not sure how soon it's supposed to be set before Return of the Jedi, but basically she has the Bossk, the Bouche disguise from Return of the Jedi.
It's decent.
Which I always they didn't bring up in this issue either. Is who the hell was he supposed to be, and why does she have his costume? Is he dead? Did they kill him? Did they just mug him?
And is that his people? The way his people breathe or something? Like nobody questions.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. Have you ever seen another one? Like I don't remember seeing.
And how she talks through the helmet is like how he talks. So is this supposed to be like in a weird way? That's the one character that's always confused me, and I've never made sense of it.
Mm. And they refer to Bouche as a he.
Yes. Anyway, yeah, so they show up. So it's the story is Leia and Lando are on this world, and they're kind of just prepping and whatnot. And then they find out, where's Chewie? Chewie disappeared, right? And then Chewie gets captured by Bossk. Bossk is like, oh, perfect. And then I'm gonna deliver this to Jabba, get some extra money, because they're looking for Lando for the Empire. And
double up the money.
Yeah, Leia's gonna rescue him. Messing with Bossk.
Look, Bossk is trying to measure him up to see how much fur he can cut off of him right there.
Totally.
I'm gonna put my foot up here to see what it looks like as a rug.
Yeah. So basically, Bossk sends some people after her to keep an eye, because like kind of hints she's hinting that she has Lando already. So
He
some
leads them back there.
Yeah, leads them back there. A couple guys jump them, and then this is a great panel. This is probably the best Bossk page. She kicks your boy to make it look like.
Yeah, a few times in this book.
Yeah, gives him a little boot.
Love this entry.
Yeah.
Nobody steals my bounty.
Bush.
Boosh.
He's going in for the teabag. There's nothing wrong with that. That's he's a Call of Duty player, no doubt about that. You never could shoot.
Yeah, busy laughing at that, and then
His gun keeps stuffing up.
It does a lot, though. I've seen that click clack thing in a couple of the
which is interesting. I wonder if it's just the trigger being pulled,
or she did something to it.
I love this panel. A boss lying back there with the gun to his face. Like,
oh, look. See, she's explaining less likely to jam if you had the new X47, not the X45, loser.
Right. They still think it's Boosh.
Yeah, the whole time he thinks it's Boosh. And then what the idea is, they basically she kind of kicks Lando off camera. She can't see him, and she shoots the ground next to basically shoots his coat to make it look like he killed Lando, and basically like, give me Chewie or you're next. And then I like Bossk getting pissed off at his guys, saying morons.
But you notice that he's always got in these comics, he's always got a team with him that he likes being the boss of, but he doesn't seem to pick good hires. Like they don't get the job done ever.
Hey, at least he doesn't kill his guys at the end there. He just kind of says you're idiots.
You also cut out a few more times that Lando gets kicked in the face.
Oh, I had to do it. I was afraid if I added too many, we would have to. Yeah,
oh, yes. You would have heard me explode on camera because that's enough of that nonsense.
So yeah, after that he shows up. That's the last time you see him before Empire Strikes Back, and then the Bounty Hunter series comes out set just after it, and this is where it reintroduces Valance into the comics, and then this first story arc has the first 4 issues has Bossk in it, and that's where we see him more recently.
And they draw him really well.
Oh, I love the art style. And this, I didn't read these when it first came out. I only read them through the app eventually, and I love the art style throughout it all.
Yeah, it's a good story too. Yeah.
So
if
basically,
you're on it, you can't drop this.
Yeah. So basically, the idea is they had a job happen, which turned out very bad because this mentor character to Valance ended up killing the client due to spoiling stuff basically, and everything goes to shit. And now everyone kind of wants revenge on that character. Lash is the name is, and Valance to an extent. So It kind of jumps around different characters showing what's going on. And in this moment, Bossk is being hired by Afra and Black Kyrgyzstan. Again, yeah. And Bossk is already angry.
This is the only line you need to read this entire page.
Yeah.
What are you whining about? You're about to get a new rug for free.
Man,
he wants to fight the Wookiee. BK.
And he plays linebacker for the Saints or something too. The guy's got the super.
They do a very good show here of how Lizard is.
Oh, look at that! That looks great.
That's really cool.
Right here, I always get my Wookiee. Always.
And then Afra breaks it up. She got business to do.
Yeah, stops his fur pelting.
It's not sensitive to talk about taking of the fur.
And his eyes stay red. Thank you.
Yeah, they keep the eyes. No black eyes or purple suits. They better show in the War of the Bounty Hunter in his closet he has a purple suit. If they don't, they're going to be very, very sad.
I like this. This is why I use that in the thing because I really like that way that looks. That looks really cool.
Yeah. So it's him tracking down Valance now because Valance knows it looks like he's knowing the location of his mentor. So he's tracking him down now. and he located him to this one planet. And this is a great introduction too. Yeah, Ray shows up there across the whole panel.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's,
one of the very, like I was noticing, one of the very few times you see a splash page of him.
Yeah. And then an animate appear almost
Gotcha.
And also, I've also noticed that's also, you don't see it that much of a close up of him holding it with detail, his guns, because it is a very funny hands he has. So they did a good job there too. Because this is what it looks like when he's not holding a gun. So that's probably a strange hand to try to draw.
Like I was gonna say a starfish for a hand.
Yeah, his pointer finger and middle finger are the same.
Yeah. But yeah, them fighting each other out, bombs off, blasters going, yelling. All contextual to the story itself.
It's a long fight scene they had in this book. I've never
it crossed over 2 issues, yeah.
Every
cool.
Every book in this series has good fight scenes.
Yeah, the art direction, they did a good job showing it all. Go back one panel. Yeah, before the big moment. So, Bossk says, "Come and get her. Well, you almost got me." And then he's like, "I'll have to try harder." And he leaps up and gives him like this crazy punch.
Yeah, full page.
That's like classic. That's classic Marvel superhero punch right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except that punch that nearly knocks him out.
Nearly.
He claws him. I love that onomatopoeia there where he's describing him at the scratch thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. They need to show that. Like he needs to be more of this than.
He takes pieces out of his face.
Yeah. And Valance starts running, and then Bossk does this crazy leap over. He probably learned it from Luke after he asked him.
Yeah, he did. He got him. How'd you let him jump like that? Look at that. It's all connected, baby. It's all connected. We're all in the same world.
He found the guy.
He found him too. So he leaps over him, gets the knife ready for the attack, and then, if I'm not mistaken, if you click next.
Well, here's the thing I will say. He said this a lot. I should have killed you years ago. He needs to learn from that lesson. When you have a chance, kill him, because you're always upset that you didn't kill him years ago.
Yeah. So what happens is in that moment, it jumps back in time to show like back when they were working together on the job, and it was just a page of them just like spitting at each other.
When I read this just now, nailed you right in. I was not thinking nerve circuits are going to be the next part. Like I was not. I nailed you right in the nerve circuits. Like I didn't think that was going to be it. I thought he might have nailed him somewhere else.
And yeah, so Valance goes for like one crazy last hit to basically knock him out. It hits him basically over the head with his giant rock.
Ah, dang it.
Yeah, that rock smashes.
Yeah, that's nice. It's great. Like that's, man.
And basically knocks him out and leaves him in some rubble.
Look at that. Jeebus.
You see the reflection in his metal parts?
Yeah.
They're like troopers or something.
You're going to get sued by the Terminator people for that picture.
And then, so Bossk is, he basically knocked him out and then locked him up there. And this other bounty hunter who's trying, this other bounty hunter is trying to find Valance now. Finds Bossk along the trail, gets the information he wants, and then proceeds to kick him and knock him back out again.
Take
so other than that, the next time he shows up is Bounty Hunters 11, which is more recent. It wasn't on the app, but it leads into slowly he's on the cover. It's a very gorgeous cover. He leads slowly into the.
You mean this one?
Yes, you actually pull it up right there. That is perfect. So that leads slowly into the War of the Bounty Hunters. Yeah, great cover. You know what's funny? I remember when we were talking about it. That was one of the new comics, and I was one of the ones you showcased, and you said you had to get that right away.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I guess you did.
Tip potato chip. The teabag comment.
That was the
But yeah,
this one's good too. I enjoyed it with the dogs
That's a great
cover
start.
too.
Well, all right. So that's pretty much it. We just ran through the entire history and story of Bossk, all of his appearances, other than obviously novels, because you can't really show those. But
yeah,
Which
and we're a little
like a flip book where we just. And I showed this earlier, but I'll show this really quick because I've been waiting for 10 episodes apparently to be able to have something to show. So this is Black Series. His little mouth opens too.
Oh, neat.
So the details, I probably won't get it to focus too well, but the detail on it is pretty ridiculous. There's even his
feet.
starfish hand right there.
And does he have rounds on his calves?
I was gonna say, what are those, like a bandolier for his ankles?
Yeah,
like shotgun shells or something.
He had a grenade launcher. It was mentioned, so.
Oh, it just focused.
Oh, figures. If I block my face, most of the time it does. I've made many videos doing toys. You think I know how to focus things? Now there you go. I mean, it's Black Series.
The detail on the head though is really good.
Yeah, Black Series is obviously. So I get to focus one more time.
I like that the jaw moves though. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So when I saw that, like, this is probably one of the only Black Series I got that I didn't get at Walmart for like $5. I usually only buy them when they're on sale because it's such a cool looking one. I had to get this one, so I believe I actually paid the sticker price for that one, which is pretty rare. But so the part of it before we get to news and stuff, here we go. Kachung, are you there? He's been holding on that smile for a long time. There you go.
I was gonna say I didn't even notice that.
He had that smile for a while. He really liked that. You see that, boy? He really liked that Black Series. He was like, so obviously I would think this is a pretty good one. What do you think for a cosplay?
Oh yeah, I would do a Bossk.
Be really cool because you'd be going almost like a pilot, like a rebel pilot, with the
yeah, pretty much
just recolored and then having to do all the details.
Yeah,
you'd have to modify some gloves.
How would you do the hands? Is what I would wonder.
Yeah, definitely would modify gloves somehow.
It's rare. It's rare that I pay full price for anything. That's for sure.
Or I'd probably sew middle fingers together.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, I would imagine.
And then just maybe put just foam on the outside of the gloves, and then put kind of scales on top of that.
So make the two full bow fingers with a proper one in the middle where you can fit your fingers through.
Yeah, because you'd still have to be able to use your hand to be.
Yeah, you just have to do it off camera like they do in everything else.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Okay, so do we have? There was no news for 9.
I have two pieces of news. If we would touch on that quickly, then if you got our news segment thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that guy. So.
So I'll touch on the kind of fine news first. Is so ranges. So they made Disney had let out an announcement basically talking about some of the different shows in development, and they touched on at the very end. They tacked it on was that Rangers of the New Republic is currently not in active development, and people have taken that really crazy, freaking out, thinking the whole thing's canceled and all this and that due to everything going on. But that just means it's not being like they're not filming anything or they're not working on pre-production because they announced like 50 shows and they have so many other things going on.
Star Wars fans they went a little overboard with an announcement. Really?
Never.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, so that was one thing. Were you guys looking forward to that? That was the show I was kind of almost like, what is this supposed to be? And I'm like, do I really care about it?
Rangers.
Rangers.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it now that I heard that maybe Hera will be the lead.
I did not know that. That would be interesting because I was like, what else could it just be about?
I think it's still, but I think it's just speculation, but I think it's very strong, almost from the horse's mouth, so to speak. But
yeah,
I think if Hera was the lead instead of Cara Dune, then I'm all in.
What this Colonel mentioned there. What episode are you gonna do a costume then? You're gonna be fully dressed up.
Yeah,
for
we have a request that you do a full cosplay for one whole episode.
You have like 10 fans going at once too.
The whole time every time he talks, all you hear is because the amount of fans that are coming from every direction.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll have to see. It might just be something really nice, like a Jedi.
Just get your bathrobe. And then the other piece of news is exciting to see what's going to come from it. So if anyone heard, it was really just after the Wednesday, I believe, was Dave Filoni was promoted to the title of Executive Creative Director.
There you go. There you go, Dave.
Which is what everyone was hoping for eventually. Now, doesn't really specify what that role is. Obviously, it's just he's the highest creative director, I would assume. Does that have to mean for everything there? Because then that would be interesting to see. Mm-hmm. He's going to be the one kind of controlling the vision, like how Kevin Feige is at Marvel, MCU.
What we're hoping for is that the evil Empress herself decides that she's very heavily decided that she would like to go retire and go count her money somewhere else, and then we just slide him right in. That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, he's just like the natural transition, like from watching like the early, like the behind the scenes stuff from the prequels, and then seeing Clone Wars. Like he obviously was someone who really knew his stuff about Star Wars, and then and knew what the direction that George wanted to go with it all. And
supposedly she was, though. She was supposed to be the right-hand man. She's supposed to know everything. And I'm going to tell you, from those bastardized movies that she put out, there wasn't that person working on those movies that had any fandom of Star Wars, in my opinion. Like, they're clearly, I mean, I know there's a lot of directors switched, but when you watch, Filoni can make a 30-second clip for a Tostitos commercial and have more fan pats on the back than those three movies combined. Like,
the only exception being Gareth Edwards for Rogue One. He's probably the only exception.
Yeah. No, Rogue One was good.
Also, Ron Howard. Yeah, Ron Howard would be another one for so.
For what? I know we're totally off topic right now, but for what the train wreck and poo poo that Ron Howard had to pick up the pieces, he actually did a really good job if considering what he had to work with and the mess that was.
Yeah,
but he's a quality director, so I mean that was going to happen.
One news I actually left out. Now you brought it up, I might as well just mention it for the sake of it. Was apparently on Disney Plus, the version of Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, is actually different from the theatrical and the physical.
Did they kill Rey in the begining of it?
They actually changed the entire colors of the movie.
Oh, geez.
Apparently, the color scaling and grading and like the darkness and everything is completely different. If there's side by side, I didn't bother having to pull it all up because I didn't care enough. But the side by side comparisons actually do look very different. It's funny, specific parts with when it's Kylo seeing the vision of his father and the end fight where it's all just blue. They fixed it where it's not just this big blue color throughout the whole thing.
Oh, that's the only version I've seen.
Yeah, so you're saying that the color's better? Like it's a better change than the original?
It's not like this monotone color throughout the
whole. Wow.
It's not like how Breaking Bad, makes anything in Mexico yellow. It's basically like
The only way that I'm going to watch that movie to see what you got anything to say is if I'm stuck on a plane or a train and they're forcing that movie on there. That's the only way I'm ever going to know.
You should have watched it when we had Dengar on the show. We should.
Oh, right.
But yeah, that would be all the news, basically. Then it's just the new comics coming out.
All right. So let me, I guess I should hit that probably.
It's a good one.
Other than, you know what, and even though I don't have spec talk, I know that it's a favorite, so I'm just gonna hit it just for fun. That's for free. There's no charge for that one. That one's a free one for the fans.
Oh man,
Love it.
my favorite.
Yeah, only 2 books coming out this week.
Funny enough, 2
right.
Marvel and 1 IDW.
I did see it, but I would have said this anyway. Let me guess. There's going to be an alternate color to this one. Am I correct?
I mean, you can only assume. This is Darth Vader number 12. This is the prelude for War of the Bounty Hunters. This is the number 12.
Not a fan. Not a fan of this right here.
It's
That's
the
Obviously, the B cover.
yeah.
Well, let me guess. Oh, look at that.
Variant.
I kind of actually like that. I kind of like that in that red. That actually looks kind of cool.
So, funny enough, the Crimson variants on this one and the Bounty Hunters actually look good. But you'll see in a second the other main series title doesn't look good at all with the Crimson. And this is the final Empire Strikes Back Sprouse cover.
Listen, whoever you said whoever did the coloring on this or the inking, they know way more about art than I ever will. But this is an interesting way to do a shadow. Like it's a very hard, dark shadow with no like gradient. It's just bam. It's like somebody painted them or something. That's really weird. Okay.
There's lights across the entire place. I don't know why there isn't any shadows. And then you got Dr. Aphra number 10. This is the prelude as well for.
I know almost zero about her. I haven't read any of her books, but isn't she always kind of like in this goofy half smile, facing the camera? I guess would be facing us with somebody doing something behind her. I feel like this is a very common cover.
Is that the Nile engine that she's got there?
I haven't read those most recent issues leading into it, but I would have to assume because I heard they're touching on the High Republic stuff there.
Mm.
And then obviously you can assume
there you go.
Yeah.
Which I mean,
no,
it's
this is better.
Just read again.
That's way better. It fits it better. It fits her style better than that does.
Yeah, it's a Kathleen Kennedy red tint.
There you go. You tell him. Don't say her name though, because that scares me. You can shut this down right now.
Is this a ratio?
So that's the C cover. It's done by a guy named Ray Anthony Height. I don't recognize the name.
Who are these people though? Like I don't recognize any of these characters.
Okay, so we got Aphra.
Where? This one?
It's Aphra.
We got the goggles on her head.
Yeah, that's the only way I knew who this was. This right here, and then this is the only reason I even knew who that was. Okay,
that's
obviously Sana in the background.
Sana Soro. No, and then and then you got the air person. It's there. I mean, I've never seen that person's art before. This is the first that I remember at least. This is the first.
Is that a 1 in 10? What is that a ratio? What is
if
that?
I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to be a 1 in 10.
Huh.
And I like this one a lot. The cover. This is Star Wars Adventures, The Weapon of a Jedi, number 1. I can't remember what the synopsis was for this, but the cover does look really cool.
Something about a lightsaber, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably. This is probably the moment. Well, that's obviously with the OG lightsaber with Anakin's. So, set at different points. But that is the comics coming out. That's all the preludes for leading into War of the Bounty Hunters, and then now, not next week, the following week we'll have the actual first issue next week, not this week. Next week we'll have the first official issue for War of the Bounty Hunters.
And how many is it? 6?
It's 5.
5.
And, with 3 one-shots. 3 or 4 one-shots, and then just the regular issues for the
And there's no other. Are there crossover issues in the other series?
No, all the air series have crossover into it, but it's just part of the main series for each of them. And then we'll probably pull the infograph up again for when we talk about the first issue. which has the list of the checklist.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's in the last week's episode, or should
All
be.
right.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, that is Bossk.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed it. I was
Yeah.
expecting a lot more in depth, and then not as much, but it's still enjoyable.
Nice.
It wasn't where I was like, well, what in the world did I just go down? It was actually pretty cool. Do you like them more or less, or about the same than before?
More. Definitely.
I'd say more for sure.
I
Especially
would-
after seeing those early panels, it makes me looking at it makes me smile more.
Here's where I was going when I was reading it. I was it was falling fast for me. I was like, he looks like he's a knucklehead. But really, honestly, the modern books really turned it
Bounty
around.
Hunter specifically do
Yeah,
very
the modern books really have turned him around. Where I mean, if you even look at him when he rips off his face with just that one swipe of a claw, it's like that's probably one of the first times that I remember. I mean, I haven't read every single comic he's been in, but that's one of the first times I remember even using his claws in that way. It's usually more like he's just fumbling with trying to hold a gun or something instead of which is what he would probably be doing. And I really like that it's just a known thing in the galaxy that his whole species likes to kill and
skin Wookiees.
Like that's just what happens. And nobody's questioning it. Nobody's asking why. It just happens. That's sometimes a Wookiee disappears and it becomes a carpet. That's just the way it is. Like there's nothing much you can do.
You can always figure out who the taxidermist is.
Right.
All right. So I guess that's it. So next week we are going to the beach. So I will not.
I wish I was.
Yeah. And so we will not be doing. I guess you guys could do it if you want to. We will not be doing it next time. So 1 week off, and then we're back the week after that.
Sweet.
So we'll return for the 8th, June 8th.
All right. So for everybody who's here, thanks for watching us, and we will catch you in 2 weeks. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
You like how I just went right past that Bad Batch, so we didn't talk about it?
Oh no!